What is up, and welcome to Wigan Athletic for our career mode here in FC 25. Now, I know I was with Wigan in last year's game. However, we were only with them for a half a season, so I feel like we have some unfinished business here. Plus, I also bought two of the shirts, and I really like these shirts. I might even buy some more, so I do want to keep wearing them, and I like Wigan. It's a fun team to use. It's a little bit of a challenge, so we're back with Wigan this year. So jumping straight in here, we have £2 million to start off with going into our first season, which isn't terrible. It's a little low. I did say this was a little bit of a challenge, and that's the financials is kind of where the challenge is coming from. I already spent a little bit of money hiring a youth scout, so it was like 2.2 or 2.3 million. I spent a little bit already, but 2 million essentially going into season one isn't too bad. As for our objectives from the board, high emphasis on domestic success, which is fine. We obviously want to be successful. Our goal is to get Wigan back to the Premier League. Our definition of success, though, definitely is different from what the board's is. They want us to finish mid-table. That's not very successful, I wouldn't think. I feel like with the roster that we have, and you'll meet them in a second, we should potentially be at least challenging for a playoff spot. We might not get there in season one, but certainly by season two, we should be definitely in a playoff position. Our long-term goal says within 3 seasons gain automatic promotion. If we're still in League One by season 3, I think we might be fired. So we'll have to see what happens, but I feel like we have a better roster than what the board possibly believes we do. Continental success, obviously nothing to start out with in League One. Youth development, high emphasis on that one as well, which makes a lot of sense given our roster. A lot of young players in this team. They want us to sign one player in our youth academy assigned to a defender position. Questionable, given that the defense is easily our strongest department on the pitch, but okay, we can do that, I suppose. And then sign 2 players younger than 20 years old with potential, yada, yada, yada. Essentially, they want us to sign more young players. Like I said, high emphasis on youth with this club. And then brand exposure, they want us to score goals in 7 away matches. Seems like we can do that. And then financial, sell 2 players and then sign 2 crucial players to replace them. Yeah, I definitely, some names come to mind, and some positions certainly need some strengthening going into the year. So, yeah, it's doable. Thankfully, it's a low priority one. That's a little tricky with given our budget, but I think we can do that. So let's go ahead and meet the squad that we have inherited here at Wigan. Starting out with the attack. We'll just start right from the bottom here because this doesn't fill me with confidence. I'm actually quite worried about this one. So we have Josh Stones. He's 20 years old. That's all I have to say about him. Joe Hugel. I think Hugel? I'm going to go with Hugel. On loan for Manchester United. Also 20 years old. Yep. And then Chris 56 rated at also 20 years old. One interesting thing about our 3 strikers. They're all at least 6'1". So we got some big boys up top. That's about it. I'm not sure what to expect out of those 3, but I said there were some areas where I can think of that we need to strengthen. Strikers a top priority. I'm not sure how we're going to score goals this year. For our wide players, we've got Johnny Smith in the last year of his contract. 65 rated though. I'm well acquainted with him from my time with Wigan before. Not a bad player. Not sure the contract being up at the end of the year. I don't know. That's a question mark going into the season. Callum McManaman, also on an expiring contract, 62 rated. I think right now those are our starting right and left midfielders. So, yeah. It gets better the further down this list we go, because we end with the defense. The defense looks actually pretty good. We have Silko Thomas, awesome name, but he is on loan from Leicester City. I really actually like the look of this player. I just wish he wasn't on loan. So we might look at maybe signing him permanently if the price, we probably can't afford. I don't know what I'm talking. I'm talking absolute rubbish. There's no way we're gonna be able to afford him. We'll just enjoy him while he's here. And then our other wide player is another loanee, Michael Olakigbe from Brentford. Yeah, that we have 4 wide players. The 2 that are actually with the club are on expiring contracts, so I'm only a little bit worried about that. We're gonna be fine. And the lone bright spot in this attack to start out with, Thilo Asgard. Love this dude. He might be our only hope in the attack to start out with. I'm I'm scared of this one. I don't know what we're going to do with the attack of this team, but I love Asgard. He's going to be a big player for us. And then we also have Joe Adams, another 20-year-old player, as our backup center attacking mid. In the defense, I actually have a lot of really good options. I really can't complain with this at all. We've got Dion Rankin at right back, 64 rated at 21 years old. Can also play right mid, so it might be an option to move him further forward. Sessegnon can also move further forward and play right mid, but he's probably going to start at left back. I'm not sure. There's some options here. We can move some pieces around. I'm just not sure how they're all going to fit. We also have Calvin Ramsey on loan from Liverpool that can play right back. And then we also have left back Luke Robinson. So 4 players all look at least serviceable at this level, and they could possibly, a few of them, move forward. So we've got options there. I'm not too worried about that. And then at center back, very solid. Probably our strongest position. Actually, it's definitely our strongest position to start off with. Charlie Hughes, 67 overall, the team captain at 20 years old. I didn't do that. He was already the captain when I got here. Probably not going to mess with it. We don't have very many veteran players. In case you haven't noticed, almost everyone is like 20 or 21 years old. So, quite a young squad. Toby Sibic, the highest rated player at 68 overall and 25 years old. Jason Kerr, I know a little bit about. He's a decent player, good option in there. And then Will Aimson, 30 years old, 65 overall. So 4 center backs, all at least 65 rated. You couldn't really ask for more coming into a League One team. In between the 6, Sam Tickle is our guy. And then his backup, 40-year-old Andy Lonergan, is retiring at the end of the season. So defense and goalkeeper, I think we've got a very, very solid foundation there. And by default, this is how the squad is lining up. I honestly don't know who our option at striker really would be. Is it Stones? Is it Hugel? I know in real life, as of recording this, Wigan sit in 19th place in League One. They've played 14 games. They've scored 12 and conceded 12. So they can't score, but they also don't concede, which is exactly what I would expect from this squad. So that is why I said, if we can figure out how to score goals, I feel like we're going to be a better than average team this year. We might be able to challenge for a playoff spot, but certainly mid-table shouldn't be that difficult for us. We just have to figure out, casually as you would, who's going to score and how we're going to score. Shouldn't be that tough. So straight into the transfer window we go, and we're instantly looking at some free agent strikers just to see what's available, because £2 million, not a lot of money. So if we can save a little bit, that would be great. If there's an option out there that we could scoop up, and given that we're in League One, I am kind of trying to limit it to European talent to start off with. And there's also just not that much available, unless Memphis Depay wants to join a League One team, which seems rather unlikely, I would think. But no, Memphis Depay seems to, walk to the beat of his own drum, so maybe he would. I'm not really sure. Joselu, 34 years old, probably not what we're looking for. Robin Quaison? Not bad, actually. 68 overall. It's a vast upgrade on what we have, but nothing really stands out about him. Finishing's not great. 67 finishing's not great either. So, I don't know. Whoa, look at those eyebrows! Why is he so angry? The young Icelandic striker, not an upgrade on what we have, and he looks so pissed off. Why is he so mad? My goodness. But that is the end of the list. So other than maybe Quaison, if I really can't figure anything else out, but that's not a great group of strikers, is it? I think we're gonna have to look elsewhere for some help. No on the free agents, but what about transfer listed players? Actually, a lot of older players. Nah, we can't. He's 8.5 million. I can't afford Christian Kuyama. I would love to get Christian Kuyama. It's not gonna happen. Ain't no way. At some point, though, hey, Christian, keep the DMs open, buddy. I might come back to you. We'll circle back in like 6 years. Well, maybe that we can make that happen. How about Freddie Ladapo, Ipswich? Actually, not terrible. Wait, he's 31, 65 overall. It's not the worst. I mean, we're not looking for anything crazy. We just need something to get us through this season, to be honest. Neil Malpai, no. Just all around, no. He's too expensive and he's kind of a prick, so probably not. Jan Kitala, Wait a minute. Physicals aren't terrible. He's 6'1", so again, fits with the big man philosophy. 67 finishing. 800K. That's not terrible. He's only 26, so he might have a little bit of sell-on value. And he's, okay, contract expiring in 12 months. We might be able to get him for not too much. That's a solid option. That's the first really good option that I've seen. It's not terrible. So I've gone out and put together a little bit of a list of potential striking options for us. That was until I started looking at them a little closer, and if I click on them, even Jan Kitala, who is either loan listed or transfer listed, unwilling to relocate at this time, and then I started to get a little worried when I started clicking through them because everybody is either unwilling to relocate or is too important until we get to Yusuf Arabi, and then we start getting into players we can actually buy. So Arabi, Prisha, Downs, Street, and Aqua are options that are at least willing to come to our club. Everyone from Yaboa upwards is not. The bigger issue here is that everyone, like Arabi, 1.1 million, Prisha 1.35, Downs is 1.25. And then we have Street and Aqua from the lower levels of England, 500,000 for Street. Aqua is even less than that. So Street and Aqua are probably the most realistic targets for us. If we can spring for, I think Arabi is the best of the higher end options. If we can make that work, that would be great, but I also need a winger. So I'm gonna have a look and see who's available in a wide spot. And also, our objective is to sell 2 players and then replace them. So I need to sell a striker before I buy a striker. So I need to work that out before I realistically do anything else. And while I'm working out who to sell in order to complete our objective, it is a low priority objective, so if we don't end up figuring it out, it's fine. But I decided to have a look at the youth squad because I haven't actually done that yet. And we have a couple of players that are 55 rated, which is not great, but maybe if we could force them into the squad later in the year, if, where it's clear we're not going to make the playoffs, but we're also going to be solid, mid-table. We're going to be back in League One next year. Maybe we could carve out some time in the first team for them. We have Rafa Cruz, center mid. Playmaker is his primary or his basic role. And looking at his abilities, physical and technical, nothing really pops out that says he should move positions. I think he just is what he is. I think he is a center mid. And then we have Libor Tuma, who is the best of the bunch in our youth academy. He's a right mid who likes to play as an inside forward. He's absolutely rapid, so I'd love to have him as a winger option. However, his technical ability has me very confused. 51 finishing is very, very high for a winger, a 55 rated winger. It seems like he might be better as a striker, but 57 dribbling, he's a good playmaker as well. I'm not sure what he is. Maybe a shadow striker, center attacking mid. Honestly, I'm not sure, but I have a really strong feeling at some point this season we're gonna find out. So here's where we're at right now. We are looking for wingers. I found a couple of free agent wingers. The one I would really want is Pyri Suiri. I'm not even sure how to say his name. Doesn't really matter because we're not gonna sign him, because he wants 10,000 pounds per week in wages at 64 overall. That's absurd. Our top earner at the club makes 7,100 pounds per week. There's no way I could pay this guy 10. It's just not feasible. It's impossible to do that deal. Same with Sarpreet Singh, 9.9K per week. Yeah, there's no way. Absolutely impossible. Funny story though, the 69 rated 21-year-old Brian Gonzalez only wants 8K. And I'll be honest, he would be the highest rated player at the team, so making him the top earner makes a lot of sense, and it's not a ton. It's not even $1,000 more than what our current top earner makes. He would be our new star player. That I could actually justify. Would it not make sense? I'm almost wondering why I'm not doing this right now. You know what? Let's see how much he wants. Well, the recommended wage is 10.5K, but he is asking for 5.6. It feels a little bit broken. I'm just dumbfounded at the moment. I'm literally at a loss for words. It just doesn't seem right, but he literally asked for everything. I didn't suggest any of the terms. This is what he wants to come here. I normally would try to get rid of the appearance bonus, but you know what? I'm so happy he's coming. I'm just going to accept it as is. Yeah, okay, Brian Gonzalez. We have somebody to play next to Thilo Asgard now. We have a semblance of an attack. And the reason I was so quick to sign Rodriguez, other than the ridiculous deal we got for him, is because we have an offer in for Callum McManaman. We are kind of short on wingers as it is. Remember, we only had 4 of them in the team. 2 of them are loanees. But McManaman's 33. He's going to leave at the end of the season. I might as well sell him now and just get a little bit of cash for him. And also in my rummage through the free agents that are available, I found this guy, Lewis Tate, 17 years old. And while nothing technically or physically really jumps off the page at you, like, he's more of a defensive-minded player, but his defensive abilities aren't great, but his passing is fantastic. At 5'7", something about him just kind of screams Scottish Pirlo. Maybe that's just me. But I really like the look of him, and given that, yeah, we have quite a few center mid options in the team, but none of them I'm particularly in love with. They're good players. They're going to do a job for us at League One. But I don't really have anyone in that position moving forward that I think is going to be here long term and move forward with us as we progress. So I think he's worth a flyer. We have an offer in now for Josh Stones. And striker was kind of our top priority, and we've addressed everything except for that so far. The offer is for Mansfield Town, £520,000, which is not a bad deal. It's actually more than what he's valued at. But given our budget constraints, I need every dime out of this deal that we can get. So I'm going to negotiate this, try to squeeze a little bit more out of him, and we will probably make this deal happen. And I think it is now time to turn our focus back to the striker. We have a list of 4 players here. We have 2 that, I mean, it's basically, do we want to spend a lot of money or do we want to go for a budget option? If we want to spend the money, Yusuf Arabi or Tim Prisha are the guys. The 2 Swedes, both of them look really, really good. I think Yusuf Arabi is the better pure striker, while Prisha gives us a little bit more flexibility as he can play out wide. If we want to bring in another striker and move some things around that down the road, that would be an option. Street and Aqua would be good players to bring in if we still needed to buy another winger, but because we kind of went bargain on the winger situation, even though we brought in our top rated player. It's hard to say we got a bargain when we got our new best player off of free agency, but either way, I think we can afford to spend the money, and I do kind of want to go for Yusuf Arabi. I think with his physicals, I think he fits the team just a little bit better. So let's see how much it's going to cost us. Well, this is awkward. I thought I had 2 million. Actually, the budget says we have 3 million. Get in to negotiate the deal for Arabi, and it turns out I don't even have 1 million. So, whoops. Let's back out of this, and let's just reassess. So I see where I went wrong there. I was just looking at the total budget, which is 3 million, but we also then spent 2 million already, and our current budget is 816,000. I kind of forgot that I went a little nuts with the coaching staff. Yeah, that's my bad. I may have kind of screwed us here. We still have the deal for Stones that we're waiting for to go through. We're gonna get at least $500,000 for that. So we still may be able to make the deal happen for one of the 2 better strikers. If not, we should have the money for one of the budget options. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. This, however, is unacceptable. If there's one player that is absolutely untouchable in this team, it's Thilo Asgard. I'm not losing him. I don't care how much the money is. I mean, it would like triple our budget. No, I'm not selling Asgard. Asgard is here to stay. He's our guy. I can't sell him. Also, the fact that he just signed a new 4-year contract here does kind of help and give me a little bit of leverage in those situations. So absolutely not for sale. Asgard is our guy. If we sell him, we might not score a goal this season. And now Darmstadt want our goalkeeper, Sam Tickle. In case you missed it on that last screen, Sam Tickle also just signed a new contract. So also no, not interested in selling our goalkeeper either. Please be the screen where Stones is walking out the door. That looks like a big Ginger Stones. Oh my God, he is the most ginger that has ever gingered. My God. Well, either way, he's gone. So that would be the Cambridge United offer that has been accepted for £650,000. Not a bad bit of business. So now if we actually go in and take a look at the budget, which would be smart to do before we make a fool of ourselves again, we actually have 1.5 million in the budget now. So that should be enough for a striker, although I have a bad feeling that might be like everything we got to get one of those good strikers. So I think this is a good idea, he says with absolutely no conviction. I think. We got to commit to it, though. We have to. We have to get a striker in. We have to score goals or we're not going anywhere. We have to do this. We're getting a striker. And after some slightly tense negotiations, they did want Lewis Tate, the new midfielder we just signed. They're not having Scottish Pirlo. They're going to have to do without him. They could have signed him for free, but they wanted to give him, I don't know. It was a weird situation. But they want 1.2 million, which we can do. It does leave us very little money to give him a contract. And also, the players that have expiring contracts might be an issue. But we're going to be playing in the preseason tournament too, so maybe we'll get some more money in. You know what? I'm just not going to overthink it. Let's just do it. We're accepting it. That's fine. 1.2 million, that's a fair deal. I'm just worried that might be more than we can really afford. Oh, this is where things could get interesting. They are letting me kick things off with the wages. He's currently on 3.6K, playing, I believe, in Sweden. He's a 65 rated striker. Now we have 6K in the wage budget. I could go a little bit over that, but I feel like let's go 7. 7 makes him our second high. I can only go 6K. Oh no. Oh, I've done it again. I can't afford him again. For the second time, I'm this close to being able to afford this guy. Oh, I don't think it's in the cards. It's definitely not in the cards right now. I mean, I'll offer it to him. He's going to get pissed and walk out, which rightfully so. He's happy with it. He wanted no signing bonus. Just straight up 6.7K. Maybe it's because he's doubling his wages from Sweden, but that didn't make any sense, right? That's not just me. That made no sense. So here's a look at the team. Now that we actually have 23 pounds in the bank. I'm not sure this was a good idea or not. I did actually think he'd accept that. I'm not sure if that was a really good idea or not. I don't know if I really had a choice, though. I don't think I could back out at that point. I just had to make the offer, and then whatever happened. But, oh, boy, I've never been that low on funds in a team before, but this is going to be interesting. But we have a Robbie up top now. Asgard in behind. New guy, Gonzalez on the left with Adiko, Smith, and Smith. Across the midfield, Ramsey, Hughes, Kerr, Sessegnon, and Tickle between the sticks. I'm looking at a couple of things here. I feel like Sibic needs to be in there, probably just for Kerr. I'll just make the change now. I think Sibic, being 68 rated, probably should start. And then I am looking at Tate here because Matthew Smith and Adikbo, they are both very similar players. If we actually just take a look at them. I mean, Smith does have the deep line playmaker, but both of their focuses are on defend. They're both very defensive minded. I think if I take Smith out and go with with Tate instead, he's more of an attack roaming midfielder while Adikbo stays back. I think this is a little bit better of a fit. I'll try it too far. I'll try it to start with. I like the look of this a lot. It might be a little too soon to force Tate in there. Maybe we do go with Smith and Adikbo in the middle, but we do have options, and I do like the look of where this is heading, which is good because we have absolutely no money to do anything else. And good news, we've achieved this objective. Sell 2 players and sign 2 crucial players to replace them. Finish the season without any unspent transfer budget. We have 23 pounds left. I mean, I guess I could buy like a pizza or something for the team, and then we would spend it all. But that's about as close as you could get without having actually like $0 left. So that's pretty damn impressive. I mean, we have the rest of the season to go, and we'll make more money and have to spend more money. That's pretty darn impressive. I've never gotten it down that low before. I'm not sure that's a good thing or something to brag about, but for that objective, you can't say we didn't try. And that is actually where we are going to finish things off for today. The team is set, for better or worse, because we have no money left. But we do have a preseason tournament that I'll take care of between episodes, and then we will come back next time to start our season in League One against Crawley Town, and I believe that Pyrie Swirey guy plays for them. So maybe we'll see him, maybe we won't. But either way, we'll get things underway and get things going in Season 1 with Wigan next time out. So that's it for this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you when we come back to start Season 1.